Okay, I think we can start, Portia.
Excuse me one sec, just before we jump on, I'll be right back. All right, we good to go? Sounds really exciting. What a great project.
So we are on live YouTube right now, I think.
Portia, can you please start?
You are muted. Still muted.
Now, can you hear?
Yes,
Here we go, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. This is Portia. I am the Marketing and Communications Officer at Back4app. This webinar is very special because we have some special guests today. Casey Whiting from the Evolution of Gaming, and SWAT from the Demark Labs. We also have the engineering manager from Demark Labs, Bobak. We would like to I would like to now present Alex, who has been doing a brilliant job presenting all our webinars, and also clearly more popular than any one of us because he's like the brand face on YouTube. So Alex, could you please take it from here?
Hey, hello, Portia. Thank you. Hello, everyone. We are back, and it's an absolute joy to be here with you again. Thank you so much, everyone, to find the time to meet us in our live webinars. And well, I'm always excited to present these things to you guys. But today I'm more excited because our live discussion is joined by the Evolve of Gaming team, who are extraordinarily innovative and dedicated users of Back4app. They're creating a Web3 project that sounds fascinating. I'm sure you will all love it. And I like the development of projects. It does come with some development challenges as well. So we are here to talk about that today, along with the current market landscape of Web 3.0 and gaming as well. So this webinar is just about to get more interesting. Make sure you all have your coffee mugs refilled. I don't have mine. Mine is empty. But I would like to ask Casey and his team to introduce themselves. Let's start with you, Casey.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have the opportunity to talk to everybody about what we're doing with you guys at Back4app and what we're doing here. My name is Casey Whiting. I am from Las Vegas in the United States. I think everybody knows where that's at. A little background on me. I started in cryptocurrency in 2017, just as Bitcoin was starting to pick up the first time publicly and really become known. And I jumped into cryptocurrency at that time and very quickly decided it might be a great idea to start a Bitcoin mining farm. So I started a mining farm, and we ran that mining farm and started doing crypto day trading and just got pretty heavily involved into crypto and did a lot of day trading over the last few years. And in the process of that, we learned a lot about crypto and realized, as far as we're concerned, cryptocurrency is something that's not going to go away. We're firm believers in it. And last year, just about a year ago this month, we decided that perhaps it was a good idea to introduce our own cryptocurrency because we've got a world-changing, in our point of view, a world-changing platform to offer that helps us to bring together both crypto and gaming and NFTs kind of into one platform. So we're really excited to chat about that with you guys.
All right. Who else do we have? Swat, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks, Alex, for giving me this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I am Swat. I am the co-founder and the CTO of dApp. At dApp, we are serving our clients for their development needs for last 5 years. And our company is responsible to build that project in the Web3 environment. And we are using Back4app as our main tool in here. Our company has expertise for the mobile, web, and backend applications. And for the last 3 years, we are working on blockchain area. And until today, we serve more than 100 apps, mobile apps, web applications, backend projects, and everything. And up to that time, we complete most of our projects in a very successful way. And hopefully, Evolve Coin will be one of those. And we are very proud and eager to move forward with the project. I would like to give the word to Bobak to introduce himself and explain more about the project. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, here's
All right,
the
thank
man
you.
of the code. Hey, Bobak.
Hey, thank you. My name is Bobak. Hi, everybody. I'm the engineering manager in Marka Labs. I have many years of experience in software development and web development, and I'm into Web3 and blockchain recently. And we are happy to be here and discuss our challenges and journey in developing the evolution of gaming. And it's developing its technical side was a great challenge, the smart contract side as well as the backend side, which we have done it with help of you guys, the platform, the awesome platform you provided, Back4app. And we have here. I'm here to discuss its connection to the blockchain, which makes this Web3 application, this awesome Web3 application possible.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Casey, Babak, and Swat. I would like to add one more thing. Casey will be answering the questions that are related to the market and the business and operations of the evolution of gaming, all right? And Babak will be answering the technical and infrastructure sides of the questions. All right, guys, is that okay for you?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Sounds good. So Casey, I would like to start with you. So as a monetized online video game competition platform, that's how you describe yourself. So what makes the Evolve, how can I say this, perhaps a unique form of from innovation perspective? What does make you unique?
Well, imagine if you had the opportunity to have a business model where you could access more than 1 billion customers in your customer base. You could provide them something that they do on a daily basis and that they do without regard to world circumstances and economic circumstances, that they do this all the time. And of course, that's gaming. We currently have a market for more than 100 million active daily users of the first 5 game titles that we are preparing to provide competition support for. So what makes the evolution of gaming unique? Just a little background maybe on where we came from and how we got this started. The evolution of gaming is designed to be just that, an evolution in the way that people interact with video games. So we've seen a lot of changes over time with the way that people interact with video games. And currently, we're in a state with video games where there's a lot of play to earn options out there. We are not a play to earn. We are a play to compete. So that's one element that makes us a little bit different. And I'll explain that So in a play to compete environment, we are not offering game matches where people can come in and actually participate in the match. We're not hosting any servers with matches in them. What we are is a competition facilitator. So the evolution of gaming's concept is to monetize regular and normal gameplay for regular and normal gamers by allowing them to come to our system, register for a competition of a game title that they normally play, be able to go play that match in the servers as they normally do. We will track their gameplay, cross-check that data, and those who win as competitors earn the entry fees that they've paid in. So for example, in the United States, we'll open up with stablecoin entry fees so that users can come in and enter the platform and pay, for example, say a $10 stablecoin competition of PUBG. That will be accessible in our beta that's coming in a couple of days. And people will be able to go in and join that with stablecoins. And then if they win, they'll be paid out in stablecoins. Outside the United States, we will have the Evolve coin token competitions where you can actually acquire the Evolve token from us directly. We'll have that listed on exchanges and dexes as well. And they'll be able to acquire Evolve, come in and use that as an entry fee into the platform. And at that point, if they win, again, they're being awarded the earnings of the Evolve token. So that's the sort of monetization of it. What makes it extraordinarily unique is that in the play to earn environment, for example, you have Axie Infinity and a lot of these great play to earn companies. They're not offering competitions in the world's most popular game titles, which is what we're intending to do. So that's one thing, is the competitions that we offer. The second element is this fantasy gameplay element that in our competition system, because we don't actually host the matches, we're allowing for you as an average gamer to come into our system and play your match. As you play it, you will be pitted against skills of other players similar to your own. So we have a ranking system that will be implemented. And a beginner can come into our system and register to play PUBG. For example, I'm a beginner. I can play PUBG. I don't last very long. I'm a terrible player. So I won't come in and put any money against myself and my skills because I have low skills. But if I know I can play against someone who also has a low skill level as a beginner, then there's a fair shot. We both go to our separate matches and play those matches, and we come back and our statistics from those matches are paired up as the competition scoring system. So it's a very unique fantasy gameplay element, real players playing against real players, but competitors not necessarily playing directly in the same match with each other. So it's a very unique gameplay style of competition that we're introducing here. No one else is doing that we've seen. The closest thing, of course, is esports, but you've got to be a pro to play esports and be good. I could never do that. Maybe most of us couldn't do that. We're not on that level. So we're bringing the ability to earn money from normal gameplay, from normal gamers into the world in a way nobody else has done. So we're really excited that we have this huge opportunity to monetize gaming for people that otherwise could never hope to make money with our gameplay.
That sounds good. I could be a pro gamer myself, but I'm too busy working for Back4app. So
yeah, I feel you there. I only play games because I have to test the games. You know, I'm one of the guinea pigs to beta test. So we're hoping in a couple of days we'll get the beta up, and we'll have a lot of people join us in the free beta where they can actually jump in for free. And the winners of the beta competitions will receive $50 of Evolve for every competition they join. So it'll be very lucrative. There's no risk. You just jump in and kind of be a beta tester for us and see how it works out. So we're really excited for that.
Sounds great. But Casey, as I understood, you guys do not host the matches, right? So what exactly do you do?
So like I was saying, because we don't have the capacity to provide game servers, a user will simply register in our system. This is an important point to note, and one of the technical aspects of the whole process of what we've built with you guys with our platform is that all of the users have to come to our system and they have to go through a KYC. We know this is pretty typical with crypto. It's not typical with game platforms, but we're monetizing gameplay. And the only way to do that safely and securely is to ensure that we know who our users are. So KYC and anti-money laundering measures are put into place. Everyone has to KYC, which includes your standard selfie and pictures of your identification. When they've passed through that, then they have access to the actual system itself, where they can jump in, register for a game. So you'll be able to pick a game title that we support that you want to play a game in, and there will be various options of competition levels, price levels, and number of players against number of players. Our system algorithm matches up players and does the matchmaking. And from there, the players actually leave our site, they go to their match, and they actually play in that match. So once in a while, even testing, occasionally we've tested and we've ended up in the same match of PUBG, for example. We found each other, we knew we were there. We actually want to avoid teammates being able to be in the same match with each other on purpose, because it would open the door for money laundering very easily. And we want to avoid that. We're very careful to be sure that the system that we have, it's big enough, the scale and the scope is so large that we know the level of success we'll have. We will be a magnet for bad actors and people who would do things that would hurt the token value, hurt the community, hurt the other players. And so we're very cautious that we put things in place that will keep that from happening.
Yeah, it seems you guys really thought this thing out, right? So
yes, it's been a lot of years coming, yeah.
So then I have a question for both of you, Casey and Bobak. What were the main challenges that you faced developing such a unique project, and how did you address them?
Well, let me take the first one, and then we'll turn it over to Bobak, because he can give the technical side of that. On the first side of this, I want to make sure I give a shout out to Ethan. Ethan is my son. He's going to be 21 here, so we're hoping to launch this live before his birthday next month. But Ethan is the brainchild behind the game competition platform. So he's an avid gamer. He's really, really bright kid, and this is his concept that he came up with. So we came up with a concept in 2017, and frankly, unlike a lot of game platforms or cryptos where people come up with an idea, they pitch that idea and they sell it, they raise money, and then if they're honest, they might actually do what they've said. We have gone in a way that people might think as being counterintuitive and backwards, but we came up with the concept and we waited until we had the money personally to fund our project. So we funded most of this project, Ethan and I, out of our own pockets. We have a very small handful of investors, but we got going on the project about a year ago. Once we had the funding in place, again, personal funds, we started the project. And what we learned very early on, the biggest challenge, of course, besides coming up with the funding, which took us a few years to do, once we had the money, was finding the tools and the resources of people with the talents and skills necessary. And we actually went through several developers who turned out to not be what we needed, and they weren't providing appropriate value for what we were paying them. I was lucky enough to find Back4app. Once I had a meeting with you guys, with George, and realized the Back4app provides the tools and some infrastructure that we were going to need to build this system out. And I knew, not being a developer by trade, I knew this was really important to get the right tools and then to get the right team. So I actually required from George some options of developers you guys had worked with, and that's where we got introduced with DeMark Labs. And they have proven to be invaluable, as has Back4app. Without the right people in place, I can assure you, if you're trying to build an app, you will burn a lot of money. And when it's your own money, you're more careful with it than if it's somebody else's money. And this has been a lot of my own money. So we were very cautious with it. And these guys can attest to that. We're careful about what we do, but having people that you can trust on board is a big deal. And we've gotten that now with Back4app and DeMark Labs. Bobak, why don't you speak to some of the technical challenges? You know, once I got you guys on board, that we run into all sorts of things. Tell us a little bit about some of those.
Thank you, Casey. Yes, and from technical perspective, we had several challenges too, and which main challenges were handling security the right way was one of the major challenges. Then having reliable data sources to track matches of other several game titles that we want to run automated competitions on was the next challenge. And this is a simple. It might sound very simple, but we had this challenge of being able to experiment and quickly test and validate our ideas, because we wanted to do something that is not done before, and we had lots of ideas from product development perspective, and we wanted to be able to do it quickly and implement and develop as fast as possible. At the same time, be able to escalate that into a production environment that is have all the modern cloud environment benefits. So for the security and quick development part, we were actually addressed that pretty easily, because from our experience working with Back4app and our experienced developers in developing with Node.js and JavaScript, we addressed that. We addressed those issues pretty well. But for the part that's dealing with reliable data sources to get information from the competitions and matches going on in several game titles, we are still struggling today, and I believe this struggle to address this issue will be a continuous one, and we will never resolve. The game titles we are working to integrate and track matches from are changing their API and access and data sources on a maybe weekly basis, even sometimes in a couple of days they introduce changes. And we are very, very limited, and our hands are tied in there. So we are doing our best to create such a platform that could be dynamic and grow and evolve with these different data sources as we gather and plug them into our system. So this is not fully addressed, and it's because of nature of it. It will be an ongoing effort from our side.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And Babak, considering that and the evolution of gaming is a Web3 application, can you tell us a little bit more, go a little deeper on the stack that you used, the tools, and perhaps a little bit into the architecture as well that you chose and used for this particular project?
Yeah, we were using a kind of full stack JavaScript stack. We use React.js in front end and Node.js with parse server in backend, which runs on Back4app infrastructure. And we do kind of cloud native application with Back4app. And from the blockchain side, we have several smart contracts that are working hand in hand with our backend and frontend at the same time, with Web3.js library in between. And this is kind of the architecture and the stack.
Sounds great. And you meant smart, you said smart contracts, so you're using a blockchain behind it, right? So which kind of blockchain platform did you choose for this particular project, and why?
Yeah, that's a great question. We started. We have this idea of like every blockchain developer, they at least majority of them they are familiar, and it's because of the trend of the one of the most reliable blockchain platforms is Ethereum and Solidity, and we started from the beginning to develop our smart contracts and implement our design concepts on Ethereum itself. But because of the high prices of gas fees and transaction fees, we decided to move on to a cheaper blockchain. But at the same time, we found Binance Smart Chain. It is both fast and cost efficient at the same time, because we didn't want it to run a competition that costs, for example, just an example, if it's $10 or even less as an entry fee, then you will end up paying more than the entry fee itself that you might win that and double up your money. We didn't want to give that experience to lose parts or all of that money as transaction fees. Obviously, it will ruin the whole experience, and it just didn't make sense. So we chose Binance Smart Chain, but we have plans to be a multi-chain project as soon as we opened our doors to the public and moved on to the next milestone.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And for you guys from the Mark Labs, the evolution of gaming, it has been designed to support a huge base of users, as I understand. And what are your plans to manage the scalability aspects of the evolution of gaming, since you have to deal with so many users? Perhaps
Yeah,
Swat can answer that.
I will take that. In that manner, I can say that scalability is the biggest problem for every successful project. And with our client base, we are recently experienced that. And in the past, Back4app helped us a lot for that matter, because one of our e-commerce project was connected to Back4app, and suddenly it has had a huge demand. And thanks to you guys and to the George, we could handle that situation as a backend level. And for the front end level, we are trying to use the most popular CDNs out there, like Cloudflare and Netlify, as a tools to serve our front end side. And for the backend side, we are getting direct expertise from the Back4app engineers, and they are helping us a lot to scale our backend systems. But in that platform and project, there is one specific exception, which is our blockchain connections. And I believe Bobak can explain how to scale the backend and the smart contract side in the same time. And he can give us a hint about that.
All right, and also for you guys, the rate that dApps or decentralized apps are being developed has increased exponentially in the last few years. And as decentralized apps developers, what advices can you give to other developers thinking of creating a decentralized app someday? I bet we have a few here on our attendees.
Yeah, my best advice is there is a huge misunderstanding in the blockchain development community of how actually Web3 and blockchain and the smart contracts works, and and they sometimes they are very good developers in terms of being able to develop in Solidity and understand the language and EVM and stuff like that, but they didn't grasp the concept and idea behind the difference between centralization and decentralization very clearly. So the first and most important advice I can give is to be to put a lot of time on reading about and learning and understanding the whole blockchain space and the whole smart contracts concept and Web3 applications. And after you were pretty much confident in your knowledge about it, and you actually know the details of the differences, the second advice I can give is to, since the tools and environments are constantly evolving for blockchain development, make sure you set up all you gather all the best local development tools that you have to do, because some developers work on web-based solutions or online tools, but this is not the way to do it. You have to go a longer mile and put like you do with your front end or back end application. You have to be able to test and iterate very much quickly to have less problem when you want to promote your contracts from development local to a testnet, and then to a production main network.
All right, so let's go back to Casey. So Casey, I guess the main question I can ask you is, when will this platform be available for the users, and which kind of benefits will provide for the crypto enthusiasts?
Well, as Bobak was just mentioning on the technical side of this, it's an ongoing evolution of development constantly in our project. We've been working very long hours and very hard over the course of a year. We are now really just on the last step or two before we can deploy this. We've made a lot of testing. We've certainly proved the concept works. I can say I have, and several other partners in-house, we've done the game competitions, we've seen them work, and I've seen the tokens come out of my wallet and then come back in the wallet when I'm a winner, or not come back because I'm generally the loser, but we can see the other guy won my tokens. And so we know the concept works, and our beta is going to launch with PUBG. We're optimistic that in just a couple of days, we have the potential to be able to do that. So it's really hard for us to say, me being the CEO, I always want to put a timer on there. We had a timer on the site saying we were going to launch, but I'm very cautious about producing a public version of the product, which is good enough that we don't have people mistakenly misunderstand and think that we're not a good project or that we're not legitimate because we have a faulty user experience. So we're really just a couple of days from that. Everyone who really has interest can certainly join. I know Pete posted for us there the links to the white paper as well as to our Telegram and Discord. And if you'll join those, the Telegram channel, our Evolved main chat on Telegram, we'll give those updates so that if we are in fact ready in the next couple of days to launch, we'll let everybody know. We've got a great sales team ready to go to start promoting this. We've got influencers and moderators and people ready to go. Everyone's anxious to see this happen. We've been talking about it for a number of months now. So it's very, very close. We're just on the eve of launch. And then when the beta launches, like I said, it'll be a free $25 value entry, which the company will pay. This will come directly out of the company wallet, and then it will disperse to the winners' wallets. So everyone gets a chance to see it work and, of course, earn some Evolved tokens. Our goal here in terms of our timeline would be to have about 10,000 registered users in our system during beta. Once we hit 10,000 users, at that point, we'll prepare to actually put the token onto a centralized exchange, and we'll launch the token live. The token, by the way, the Evolved token is currently in the seed round. So we're leaving that open despite opening the beta. We're going to leave that open for just a little bit so that people who want to come in can buy it at 14 cents. Once we hit 10,000, we're going to the official public ICO, which the token will go to 28 cents. And then from there, when we launch onto the exchange, we will start it at 70 cents. So we've done a lot of work on the tokenomics side of that as well to make sure that we have good data to back up our assumptions of where we came from on the token and where we're going to at the same time.
Sounds great. So everyone in the audience, be sure to read through their white paper and join their Telegram chat so you can be part of this as well. And my last question to you, Casey, is how do you expect the evolution of gaming to, well, actually evolve in the coming years, and especially with Back4app? What are your next steps?
Well, the elements of the crypto and the gaming and the NFTs, I think, will bring something that is a very strong version of marriage between these industries. There's a lot of crossover. A lot of gamers are involved in crypto, and crypto enthusiasts are gamers, and a lot of crypto enthusiasts are NFT enthusiasts as well. So we believe that because we have this world-class platform that we're going to launch here very quickly, we're going to show that it's real. We're going to prove, rather than ask people to invest in us in advance of any proof. We're going to give you the proof and then let you come in. And not only let you come in, but unlike a lot of projects, people will be able to come in and buy the Evolve token. The non-US users can buy this directly from us on the site. We'll have a swap with stablecoins. They can come in and buy it at the 14-cent price. If you know anything about crypto, you know the odds of you being able to get in on the ground floor price of a crypto, and not just that, but on a project that is proven that what it says it's going to do, it's already done and made available, is a rarity for sure. We're very, very confident in our product. We know it's going to work and people are going to love it. And the gaming, despite what happens, you know, we've got wars with Russia and Ukraine, and we've got all sorts of terrible things happening in the world, and economic uncertainty, and Bitcoin is down, and Ethereum is down, and Luna had all sorts of problems. And people ask me, they say, hey, Casey, I get this all the time. They send me a link and say, hey, look at this tragedy that just happened. What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? How are you going to make this work? I'm very confident about those sorts of problems presented to me, because gamers won't stop gaming because there is trouble in the world. They won't stop. Ukrainians may not be gaming. Russians may not be gaming. Some of them may be in distress. And of course, they can't do that. But the rest of the world will continue to use video games on their mobile devices, their PCs, and their consoles. So we have an audience that won't stop. And in fact, if we had, for example, coronavirus 3.0, people are going to stay at home. They're going to game even more. And even if Bitcoin is down, or Luna has a problem, or stablecoins have issues, like we said, we've got some security measures in place to not have, as we say in English, all of our eggs in one basket. We're in crypto, we're in NFTs, we're in gaming. And so if crypto's down, our buyers can buy. If our token goes down, it will go down and up in value. We know it will. And if it's down, they're going to buy it because it's a cheaper entry to get back into these competitions later. The gaming is going to support the crypto. So those who don't care about gaming and don't do gaming have a motivation to participate in our project. And the NFTs is just another exciting and cool way for us to bring an additional crowd of enthusiasts in. So between those three, we think we have the perfect marriage and as it were, the perfect storm of environments and opportunities that are going to work together. We know we're going to become a household name, and we are just excited to launch this thing and get people seeing it's real and really see them get excited and get behind us and support us.
That's good to know, because I'm a crypto maniac myself, and I'll be watching this very closely. And Casey, I heard you have some gift for our viewers. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. We appreciate everybody coming on board, and our policy is kind of, as if you haven't picked up on that already, I know sales reps and people that get to know me, my developers get to understand I'm very personable. I'm very open to questions. I don't have anything to hide. And in fact, I appreciate the honest questions. And I'm the first person to say, as the CEO of the company, if you don't think this is legitimate, you should not buy this token. You should not come to our platform and make money gaming. If you think that it is a scam, you should stay away. But I would suggest, before you make your opinion, come to our beta, see that it works, and then be convinced by the evidence that we are real, we're legitimate, we're here to stay, and we're generous in, especially in our marketing efforts. So for those who have joined the webinar live, all you need to do is follow one of the links to our Discord or to our Telegram main chat. I am personally going to send you the airdrops. So this is one at a time. We eventually have the smart contracts work where we can do bulk airdrops. So right now, literally, you'll get it straight from me. So I will open up my MetaMask wallet, and I will airdrop to each of you who requests on either our Discord or Telegram, request the Evolve tokens, say, hey, I was on there. We know who you are. We have your emails registered as well. So everyone who's registered and who's joined us live, we're going to give you 200 Evolve tokens. So at our launch price, that's more than $150 value. We just want your support, and we appreciate that you're here. Those who are watching this and it's not live, we will go for 1 hour after this ends. You have that time to get in and get the 200. After an hour, anybody who comes in, I will still give them 100 Evolve tokens as well. And we will give that to a minimum of 250 people who want to come in and join this. So please come in and join us. Of course, you can go to, the link is there as well, beta.evolutionofgaming.io is where you can actually go in and register. As mentioned, you can't do the game competitions yet. You have to complete the KYC. But get your profile, verify your email, go through the KYC process, and then you'll be in the loop. And so in the next couple of days, as we're able to launch the competitions, you'll be there. Please note, in the beta, it's PUBG is the first title and the only title in the next couple of days that'll be available. I learned this the hard way. You have to play PUBG for about 20 hours before you can actually get out of the training mode to do competitions with us. So if you have not done that and you want to try this, then go to Steam, download PUBG, and get through your training, because as a gamer, you can't participate with us until you can just go into the regular Battle Royale matches. And then you'll be able to start making money. We hope to see some people making money in our platform this weekend. So send us over your requests, and I will send those out today as quickly as they come in. I'll sit at the computer and you guys will see I am a man of my word, and we're here to stay. So if you've got some questions, I guess we can kind of open it up to the questions with people here live, and let's see what kind of questions they have for us. I'm happy to answer whatever I can.
All right, Portia, do you want to jump in and open for the questions?
Yes, absolutely. We have some questions in the Q&A segment. Alex, if you could, share that with Casey and everyone.
Okay, let's see. What are the security prerequisites you had considered while developing this platform? Bobak, do you want to answer that one?
We are handling security in different layers, and we have security by design in mind, and we wanted to be as decentral as possible on this project, and so that's why we have multiple contracts, and we are very much transparent in how to the level that is possible, because when you want to have transparency, at the same time you have to deal with privacy issues. So we refined this line between keeping privacy of the gamers and at the same time providing transparency for the transactions on the system anonymously in smart contracts. This is the one perspective. Another perspective is that we use all the best tools in the cloud, and we have all sorts of protections in different layers for securing our backend, our database, also with helps of Back4app.
Yeah, that sounds great. Hey, I know Allison just posted there about Solana. That goes to the question about Solana. I've talked to a few people. I talked to a guy the other day, and I told him about, I went to a little meeting, an NFT enthusiast meeting, and talked to the founder there. And I told him about the project. And as soon as I told him it was Binance, he said, "Oh, I'd never buy your token." I said, "Okay, why? You had bad experience with Binance? What's the reasoning?" "Well, I wouldn't deal with anything that isn't layer one. And I won't deal with any projects or cryptos on layer two." So as Bobak had mentioned earlier, whether it's Solana or any other chain, Polygon, for example, there's some others that meet the measure of the financial aspect, right? We have two things to consider here. We're dealing with the money side of this, and it was a huge problem in the beginning that I realized, as Bobak mentioned, I could do a $10 competition and it could cost $35 or $70 just to move those tokens from my user wallet into the company competition, into the contract. Well, that mathematically makes no sense whatsoever. And we worked for months to try to find a workaround, essentially trying to reinvent, Ethereum. How can we do this? And the solution was, we just simply can't work on the chains that don't have the math to support it. Right now, if I send you guys the tokens one at a time, I'm going to pay 10 or 12 or 13 cents. And it's going to take about 10 seconds on Binance Smart Chain for you to receive those tokens from me on this airdrop. So that is the timing that we need, the speed. We do not want users having to wait for 25 minutes after a competition is over, because it takes that long for Ethereum to move, Or imagine if you're using Ethereum today and it's $70 to get into a $10 competition, and then it takes 45 minutes before you can join the competition because we don't have your funds yet. Again, with Binance, it's quick. When you end a competition with the Binance Smart Chain now that we've tested, I've timed it this last week. It was 2.5 minutes after the entire match was completed by all players in that match, before the data gets back to our servers and declares the winner, and the money transfer from then is about 10 seconds. And then the wallets show up. We basically count to 10, refresh our screen, and we see the earnings in our MetaMask wallet. So that's the kind of speed that we have to have and the reliability. Of course, the technical side is we want to have blockchain support that makes sense, that is secure and that is trustworthy, but having multi-chain will be the answer. If you don't like Binance, but you like Solana, we'll eventually work to implement Solana so you can use our system with Solana. So that way we can try to make everybody happy and everybody feel confident, but we're taking it one step at a time. We won't launch 5 chains at once. The amount of problems we could have would be so astronomical, we could really hurt ourselves. So we're taking baby steps. That's why we're starting beta with just one title. But trust us, we're open to suggestions. You're welcome to. I know one of the other questions here was, when are we going to have support for Escape from Tarkov? Okay, I'm not familiar with that title, but I looked it up and it says here the beta is available for pre-order. So we can look into it. We're happy to have our users say, hey, this is a title that I know a lot of people love. This looks like this title's pretty new. And we had touched on this earlier, but getting the reliable match data is critical for us to have competition support. For example, Riot Games doesn't particularly care for blockchain projects. We have asked them for data, and so far their answer has been no, thank you. Now, we may find a way, or we may convince them that they do want to do business with us and they want to give us that match data. But if we can't find the reliable data, we cannot ask you to put your money on the line for your own game skills without knowing 100% that we have reliable data that cannot be cheated and cannot be manipulated, because money is on the line for everybody. It's as important to us as it is to every player. We don't care if it's a $1 competition or a $1,000 competition. We want your funds to be secure, and we're taking every precaution we can. So we'll constantly evolve and constantly change to the point that we're going to improve. Okay, what other questions do we have here? Let's see. Let me go to questions.
I think we have 3 more on the Q&A.
Okay, let's see. Anything you guys want to say about how you would promote the product, like how you think to grow quickly in competition to similar products? Okay, well, that's a great question. The simple answer for that is we have also thought through a very thorough affiliate referral system. Now, some people have a realistic argument why. I've talked to influencers, and some of them have said, I don't want an affiliate link because my followers will think I'm being paid to promote you. Guess what? Every influencer is paid to say what they say. They're saying whatever they're saying, and they're getting Google ad revenue, or they're getting revenue directly from people. So I'm not ashamed to say that, yes, we will pay people. Our referral system is very, hopefully very simple for you guys to understand. And anyone who wants to join is welcome to do so. First, keep in mind all average users who come into our system, they're not a sales rep, they're not a marketing person for a company. If they share their referral link to someone else, and that person comes in and either does competitions or participates by buying the tokens, they will receive a 3% compensation bonus for that. So just by sharing your referral link, and we're not talking about 3% of a very tiny number. We're talking about if they're buying the Evolve tokens, they buy $100 worth. The average user, we have our smart contracts in place to run this particular operation so that it will become very automated system that we just pay out on a weekly basis to all those referrers who have people that have used their link. In terms of our marketing team, we have influencers as our #1 means of being able to get the word out there. We've put all of our money into development up to this point. So as you can see, you go to our social media channels. Don't be discouraged because they're small. They're small because we put very little time and effort into them up to this point. I have made the executive decision and perspective in this project to have the project ready for public use and consumption before we started talking about how amazing we were going to be months and months and months in advance. So we've just started growing, and that's why those channels are small, but we've got a team of influencers. We've got a team of sales and marketing reps, about 75 people right now. If anybody wants to join that, we are offering a 20% compensation, which is 10% base in US dollars Tether for token sales and 10% in Evolve itself as a bonus through the first $5 million that the company does in token sales. So a 20% commission structure is very lucrative. On the US side, where we're not selling the Evolve tokens directly to any users, any US users, we have the competition. So as soon as the beta is over and people are really hooked on our system, they know that it works, and they start doing that, we will be paying the compensation of 20% of the admin fee that comes from each competition. So in competitions that are stable coins, we charge a 20% administrative fee, or what's called a rake. If for the international users, they choose to acquire Evolve and do Evolve token as the entry fee, they get a half off of that, and it's just a 10% rake. So we're sharing the stablecoin admin fees with our marketing people, and we're sharing the token sales with our marketing people. So whether you're in the US or out, doesn't matter. There's a fabulous way for our team to be incentivized to make money. We offer the same thing to every single person. We have a program for team leaders. So if you are an individual who knows some gamers, you're best to register with us first, become a contractor with us as a marketer, and then share that link to that gamer. When his followers jump in, and there's 10,000 of his followers that come and play in competitions, you will be making a 2% override on all of those that happen. This is not a multi-level marketing system. It is like a retail store environment. You have a manager running salespeople. Managers get paid a little bit. The direct salespeople get paid more for facilitating our success. So that's the system in a nutshell. I'm happy to share that with anybody who wants it. You have our Telegram and Discord, so you can say, hey, I'm interested in talking about being a marketer or sales rep, and we'll get you started. We want all the help we can get, and we want to be very generous so that people are not just making money for working, but with our system, if your users keep coming back, you'll keep getting paid, which means it's going to become a passive source of revenue for people. Let's see, next question. For those who are thinking about getting started in the crypto world, what do you guys recommend doing? That's a great question. Bobak, what's your opinion on that? If they're going to get started, what have you learned in crypto that's good advice for a beginner?
I'm thinking that this question is kind of off topic, and we have nicer questions ahead.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Well,
prefer
it's a simple
to
answer. I think it's a simple answer. It's a simple answer. If someone's going to start in crypto, what do you think?
The simplest answer.
What's that?
Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin.
I think I can jump in and answer that. So if you're starting in crypto right now, the best advice I myself as a crypto enthusiast can give you is study it, because crypto is not as simple as you think. And there's this hype about it, but there are a lot of informations about it that you must know before jumping in. So study it a lot, and then study it again so you don't mess up with your real money. So I think this is the best advice I can give you if you're starting right now with crypto.
I agree. Don't trust what I'm saying or anybody else is saying. Go do your homework and see if what I have provided to you allows you to have confidence with your own knowledge and research that this is a good project, or that any other crypto is a good project. If you do not do that, I can tell you by personal experience, you will burn a lot of money very quickly if you're not careful. So do your homework. The answer is really do your homework and be smart about what you're doing in crypto with any project, including ours. Okay, how do you guys grab the opportunity when people are willing to invest for your company? In which ways would you like to grow if given more funds? That is also a great question. And I put this out there almost every time I talk about the project and funding, because we have been heavy on putting our money into development. So we have this amazing platform to prove to people it's real. We're very weak on marketing. So I would say conservatively, 90% of all the funds that come in, including if somebody comes in the next couple of days and we open up beta and you can start buying tokens, that money is not going directly into my pocket. That money is going into marketing. It's going to go into influencers and marketing budget because we have a great product now. It's just the problem. And we have great marketing. Look at our Twitter account. We have beautiful, beautiful marketing, but it's only being seen by a very small crowd of people, a couple hundred people. So we need that to grow and we need everybody's help. That's why we have this marketing system to incentivize people to go and put the word out. We know once people start playing our games, game competitions in our platform, they will talk about it. We know you'll talk about it, whether we pay you to do so or not. You'll be excited because you can't do what you can do with us anywhere else, unless you're a pro. And if you're a pro, maybe you don't need us, but the pros, I think, will be excited because they can actually make money by playing and showing their followers that all their beginners can come in and do it too. So it's going to grow that way. And most of the money is going to go into that. Of course, we'll continue development. It's never going to end with development. So we spend a lot of money on development. And that's where all the money is going to go in the foreseeable future, is really just going directly back in to build the project up. So we can hopefully get to a point where we're viral. Okay, can you explain what's the difference between play to earn and competition games? Yeah, so real simply put, when you hear play to earn, most people think we're play to earn. The distinguishing difference between play to earn and compete to earn is that in play to earn, let's give a simple example. If we were offering a game of chess, we would be play to earn. You would come to our platform, you would say, I want to compete in a chess competition, and you would join and we'd pitch you up with another player and you would play that on our servers. You are playing on our servers and we're letting you earn. We do not have any games, no game matches on our server currently. In the future, we may. But for now, for example, in the future, you're a Fortnite player. We do not host Fortnite matches on our system. But what we do is register and manage the competitors. So we create the competition, we manage the competitors, and we manage the funds going to and from the competitors so that you can win. But your gameplay experience itself is not done on our website. So when you look at our site, it's not very complex. The front end is really quite simple. It's a very easy user experience. You're going to go to your regular game servers. You're going to log back into Steam. When I do a PUBG, I go in with my competitor. We usually get on the phone together and we're talking and we're both logged in. We know that the screen says that we're ready to go. Both sides are ready. Then we leave Evolution of Gaming website. We open up Steam. We go and we log in and we join a battle royale in PUBG. We play that game. Then we come back to Evolution of Gaming. Takes a minute or two, and then it gets the data and tells us who the winner is, and it moves the money to the winner's wallet, and then you can start the process all over again. So that's the competition system versus the playing system. Yes, you are playing games, but you're just not playing them with us. So that's the critical difference there in terminology.
I want to add something in here. You said you getting call with your opponent. This is not actually possible in the real production environment. This is just for the test and our local development environment that's happening like this, because we pick match users, competitors in our system randomly with a large pool of competitors registered and playing. There are chances that you end up being with the person that you know that is on the system is very low, and the more audience we get, the less chances are that you play against each other. And so it's pretty much randomly who gets to play with whom on a competition in our form.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for that clarification, Bobak. That is correct. We expect to, at some point in the future, launch a feature where you would be able to create a team, a competition team, and have your friends join you in that team. And then our system will still match you up with someone of similar rank as your competitor. So there's no scenario where the users will be able to pick their competitors, but eventually you may be able to have the option to be in a team of you and your 4 friends doing a 5 versus 5 match. You may be able to set the side of the team that you're on there, but never being able to pick your competitors that way. Okay, do we have any other questions on the, let's see, we got one more. How do you handle safety for users? Babak, why don't you speak to that?
We kind of answered that question already, but again, I want to mention that we have security by design. We have as much as we could decentralize in smart contracts, and there will be audits happening. We already have a audit for a token, but we will also have auditors auditing our smart contracts, and it's obviously will be on blockchain, and anyone with development knowledge can audit that and see that if in action that the transactions happening on the competitions are completely happening in transparent manner. And for the tracking of the game titles and security on the server side and for cloud, we take the best and modern measurements that are out there to protect that either. So that was kind of a conventional security considerations that we also deal with like everybody else.
And I like what you mentioned there, that in our system, we've built the back end structure in place such that because it's integrated with blockchain, every competition, every user, every interaction every user has in our platform with competitions is recorded in the blockchain. So we have an immense record that we'll be able to go back to audit every single question any user could have about, hey, I joined a competition and I didn't get paid. We will have the blockchain record to say, yes, in fact, here's your transaction ID, here's your wallet. We know that you were paid, here it is. We can help people resolve this. So part of I think the security beyond the traditional measure is just in terms of feeling safe that, hey, if I bring money into this system, am I actually going to get money back out? And that's what we put in place. And the beta allows people to come in and see that with no risk because it is company tokens going into the entry on your behalf. So you'll be able to see that those smart contracts are working the way we intend them to, and they are distributing those funds. It is not centralized by me. It's not by Bobak. Yes, the company is central. We run and control it, but the smart contracts are implemented to ensure that as much as we can provide a trustless environment because it is blockchain. And isn't that the purpose of blockchain, is to make transactions between people trustless. So that's really what we're targeting there. Okay, where can I find your white paper and your tokenomics? You can find that on evolvecoin.io. Also, there's a couple of links, a direct link to the white paper that was put in the chat here. But evolvecoin.io is our application and website just for giving information and data and things like the crypto side of it. The evolution of gaming.io is the actual platform where the competitions and registrations and things happen. But those two sites are linked together. So you'll be able to have access either way, but all the Q&A and additional documentation information is accessible if you go to Evolve Coin. There's several links there. You can, of course, get the contract address. You can see who the team is, and we got a lot of information there. So check that out. Another question, how was your development experience using Back4app? Great question. Like I said earlier, the biggest challenge that I had trying to get to the point where we could develop this and know that I wasn't wasting my own money was finding someone that provided the tools and the sort of infrastructure. I think of this sort of like building a house. And I needed to get the framework built up and the foundation built and then the walls put on so that I could have someone like DeMark Labs come in and do all the interior beautification and designs of the system. And Back4app allowed us to do that seamlessly. I attempted to use multiple other systems. Amazon Web Services has a lot of different things to offer. We tried that. I put a good amount of money into a lot of other systems before and just kind of failed. And there's a little trial and error. But ultimately, Back4app has been a huge benefit to us because the tools they provide make it so that we don't have to invent the concept of any piece of the project. They're already there, right? If we're building a house, we don't have to mill our own lumber to have the boards to build the house. Back4app provides those sort of tools that allows us to be effective with it, and allows our developers to build what we specifically need, rather than building this framework and structure and then going from there to actually start building the house on. So they're really kind of the foundation piece for it, and I appreciate it. They've been great to work with, and we know they're going to provide us a lot of support moving forward. Let's see, any other questions from anybody? Looks like our questions is empty.
I can have another word about Back4app. For every developer watching this, please definitely check out Back4app and Parse Server. It's one of the best tools for quickly develop your backend and be with the mindset of being data centric, and because at the end of the day, what matters is it's the data that you manage. Of course, infrastructure, technology, and the way and the APIs and these kinds of things into the design of the development and the front end, everything all matters. But from my experience, I say how to model your how to design and model your application is very, very bound to its business domain, obviously, and that's why it is bound to the data and the data model that you design for it. So with that in mind, if you want to focus more on your business problems and the APIs and the third parties that you connect with and your data models, but not to be concerned too much about the technology details, and at the same time have the benefit of the everything modern and given by a cloud provider. Back4app is the best tool. We here at the Market Labs, we use Back4app for nearly all of our projects. For most of them, maybe a handful of them are not in Back4app for some complex reasons, and we are very happy with it, and we are very experienced with it. And the more and more you get to know how to use Parse Server and Back4app, you can also study about its the background and there's an awesome community, and people are very helpful both in a Stack Overflow and in Slack. So you are fully covered by people in the community. I totally I'm teams Back4app in all of its form.
Awesome.
I would like that one little technical detail to top of that. Beside from the other cloud services like AWS, Azure, or Google, Back4app is using an open source resource which is Parse Server, and it means you are not vendor locked in. So you can do whatever you want with your project. You can move out from the Back4app, which is not needed if you are not gonna build anything very, very complex. So it is nice to have that feature, but when you get familiar with comfort of Back4app, it is you are not gonna want to leave it. Thanks, guys, for that awesome product.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And if I, who am not a developer by trade, can produce this amazing platform, you have to understand I can run a business. I've got a lot of business experience, but I don't have the development background, which means I had to find people who could make this happen. And partnering with Back4app and DeMark Labs was my answer. So in its most simple form, you have to have the right people and the right resources. And I've got both of those in these two groups. So I'm thrilled, and I think the world will thank DeMark Labs and Back4app when this really scales up and they see how big this is. It's going to be amazing for all of us. And it wouldn't have happened with me floundering on my own and just running around with a bunch of different resources like we've kind of mentioned. There's a lot out there. You need to filter down and find the ones that work for you. And this has worked really well for us. So if you're inspired, reach out to Back4app or reach out to me or reach out to DeMark Labs. We're happy to chat with you guys and give advice. The world's a big place and there's plenty of success to go around. So we look forward to seeing you guys in our beta sharing the word. Some of you may want to join as marketing representatives or influencers. That's awesome. We'd love to see you guys join our project. If you don't, just remember this conversation, and in a year from now, look back and see what you missed out on. We appreciate you guys joining the webinar. Thanks so much. Does anybody else have anything else to add? Oh, you're muted, SWAT.
No, I said that's
go.
all great. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else from you guys, Alex and Portia?
No, I think we're good for now.
Yes.
Portia?
Yes, Alex, you can continue.
Thank you. So I think we're good. I think we answered all the questions. So thank you so much for joining this webinar. I really appreciate that you guys joined. Thank you so much, Casey, Bobak, and SWAT. I know you have very, very busy schedules. So thank you for finding the time to join us today. I really like this project. I think it is one of the most amazing yet innovative projects that we have had here in Back4app for a long time. So I think we all learned a lot with you guys. So I wish you all the very best with EvolveCoin, and have a wonderful evening, everyone. And see you on the next webinar.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'm starting to send
Thank you
tokens
so
out.
much, guys.
Just sent the first batch of tokens, so I'll get sending them out. Thanks for your participation, everybody.
Don't forget to get into the EvolveCoin Telegram and get your tokens, guys.
That's right. I'm sending them now. Count to 10. They'll start showing up. Thanks, guys. Look forward to seeing you on our beta.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Goodbye, guys.